Sexuality after the age of 70. It's not an easy topic to talk about openly, but it's essential to inform ourselves in order to enjoy a full and healthy old age. Many people wonder, sex at this age? However, did you know that more than 40% of people over 80 still have an active sex life? Intimacy doesn't disappear with age. In fact, several studies have shown that maintaining a satisfying sex life can significantly contribute to a better quality of life in later years. Many older adults I've spoken with have shared comments like, "I want to keep having sex, but I'm worried something might go wrong. It's not like when I was young. I've lost confidence in myself. I feel embarrassed bringing this up with my partner." These concerns are completely understandable. However, with the right information and preparation, it is absolutely possible to enjoy a satisfying and healthy sex life after 70. The main issue is a lack of knowledge. Trying to behave the same way we did in our youth is often what leads to complications. The body changes over time. This is undeniable. Physical energy and sexual function also go through transformations. But that doesn't mean it's no longer possible. It just requires a different approach. For example, men shouldn't feel distressed if erections are no longer what they used to be. Even without a full erection, it's still possible to enjoy a fulfilling sex life. In fact, at this stage, physical touch and displays of affection become even more meaningful within the relationship. The same goes for women. If you're concerned about vaginal dryness, it's something that can be easily addressed with the help of a healthcare professional. Using lubricants should not be a source of embarrassment. On the contrary, it's a smart decision that supports a healthy, intimate life. Many older adults, out of shyness or discomfort, avoid visiting the doctor, reject treatments, or simply resign themselves, believing they are disappointing their partner. However, that mindset can lead to more serious consequences. Sexuality goes beyond the purely physical. It's an expression of emotional closeness, affection, and a source of life energy. This becomes even more important after retirement, when couples spend more time together, and maintaining an active sex life can further strengthen the bond. A 75-year-old person I spoke to told me, "Once a week, my partner and I give each other massages. Sometimes it naturally leads to intimacy, and other times we simply cuddle and fall asleep. So what? Just touching each other tenderly fills us with joy. That's what really matters. It doesn't matter how often or in what way sexual activity occurs. What truly counts is maintaining intimate contact with tenderness and empathy, in an environment where both people feel comfortable. That's the true heart of sexuality in later life." Now, let's take a look at the common mistakes to avoid and how it's possible to enjoy a full and satisfying sex life. First, something that must be made very clear. Do not try to do it the same way you did when you were young. It is especially important to avoid positions that place too much pressure on the knees, spine, or hips. A 78-year-old man I met, Mr. Max, shared his experience with me. "I thought I could still do it like I used to in my youth. But the next day, the back pain was so intense that I spent an entire week feeling sore." This kind of experience is more common than many people realize. So, what positions are the safest? The most recommended one is lying on your side, facing each other. It offers several benefits. It doesn't put additional pressure on the heart. It reduces the strain on joints. It allows for eye contact, strengthening emotional connection. It makes it easier to control both rhythm and intensity. It's ideal for those with high blood pressure, as there's no weight pressing down, preventing a spike in blood pressure. And a very important detail: use pillows or cushions properly. Placing a small pillow between the legs can make everything much more comfortable. A cushion under the lower back is also helpful. Many people ask, "So, is the traditional position with the man on top and the woman underneath not suitable?" It's not completely off-limits, but certain rules should be followed in these cases. Avoid prolonging the activity for too long. The man should support his body with his elbows. It's a good idea to change positions from time to time. What about the position where the woman is on top? This one requires caution. It can be physically demanding for the man's heart, and may also put strain on the woman's knees. If you'd like to try it, the best option is for the man to lie back in a semi-reclined position, resting against the headboard of the bed. Now, I want to emphasize something essential. Before any intimate encounter, it's crucial to dedicate time to both the arousal phase and to proper relaxation afterwards. Before we continue, don't forget to give this video a like if you're enjoying it, and subscribe to the channel to receive the best tips on how to attract abundance and prosperity into your life. Let's keep going. First, the warm-up. It's not recommended to jump right in. Start with some gentle stretches to prepare the body. 5 minutes is enough. Make circular movements with the hips, shoulders, and ankles to gradually mobilize the joints. After that, it's essential to take a moment for mutual massage as a couple. For about 10 minutes, you can massage each other's shoulders or back. This helps strengthen emotional connection and relieve muscle tension. There's no need to apply much pressure. Gentle movements are ideal. And most importantly, don't rush. It's essential to have enough time beforehand. You may need more time now than you did in your younger years. Be patient, and wait until both partners feel fully ready. After the intimate encounter, a short relaxation ritual is also important. Avoid getting up immediately. Stay lying down for a few minutes to catch your breath. Then, drink a glass of water, preferably warm. Finally, remain in a comfortable position for at least 10 minutes to let the body recover. By following these simple recommendations both before and after, you can enjoy a safer, more balanced sex life. It's also advisable to avoid intimacy after consuming alcohol, as it may overload the cardiovascular system and impair mental clarity, increasing the risk of harm. And here's something very important to remember. If during intimacy you experience chest pressure or shortness of breath, it's essential to stop immediately. If these symptoms occur frequently, it's necessary to consult a healthcare professional. Many people feel embarrassed to talk about these issues, but it's essential information for maintaining a healthy sex life. A 69-year-old man said, "I wish I had known this earlier. There's no one to turn to or a clear place to find this information." And he's right. That's why I've chosen to share it in video format. Watch this content together with your partner and talk about it. Now let's move on to one of the key topics in intimate life: medication. Many older adults take medications to control blood pressure, diabetes, or cholesterol. Did you know these treatments can affect your sex life? In particular, some men say things like, "I'd like to use medications like Viagra, but I'm worried because I'm already on treatment for hypertension." Or, "I'm taking medication for diabetes. Is it safe to combine it with sexual stimulants?" These are very common concerns. Let's first address medications for blood pressure. Many people use beta blockers, although this kind of treatment can cause erection difficulties. But there's no need to worry. There are now more modern options that have much less impact on sexual function. A 72-year-old man told me, "The blood pressure meds were affecting my intimacy, but after talking to my doctor and switching treatments, I noticed a huge improvement." Something similar happens with diabetes treatments. When glucose levels are not well controlled, they can interfere with sexual performance. However, if medical instructions are followed properly and blood sugar remains stable, there are usually no major issues. It's essential to keep this in mind. You should never alter or stop your medication without first consulting your doctor. A 77-year-old man shared, "Since I couldn't have sex, I stopped taking my blood pressure medication and almost passed out." These risky situations occur more often than one might think. It's crucial to stay alert. Now, moving on to medications used to treat erectile dysfunction. Many people purchase them discreetly at pharmacies, either out of shame or fear, but this poses a serious risk. It becomes even more dangerous if the person is already taking drugs like nitroglycerin to treat chest pain, angina. These should never be combined with treatments for erectile dysfunction. That combination can cause a sudden drop in blood pressure, which is extremely dangerous. Those with heart disease need to be especially careful. In particular, men who have suffered a heart attack or have angina should consult a doctor before using such medications. Sexual activity can be a significant strain on the cardiovascular system. This also applies to those at high risk of having a stroke. Blood pressure can spike suddenly, adding another layer of danger. People who have already experienced a stroke or have been diagnosed with a high risk of one must take extra precautions. Erectile dysfunction treatments should always be prescribed by a healthcare professional. With the proper prescription, it may even be covered by insurance, and most importantly, their use will be much safer. Women also tend to have many concerns regarding medication use. Many turn to hormone therapy, which should always be evaluated by a healthcare professional. Another common issue is vaginal dryness. In these cases, specific moisturizing or lubricating products can be used, which are available at pharmacies without a prescription. Here are some important guidelines to keep in mind when taking medication. It's crucial that all medications are taken only under medical supervision. Don't fall into the mindset of, "That won't happen to me," and choose to self-medicate. Always read the information leaflet included with the medication you've been prescribed. It may mention whether it has any effect on sexual health. If you experience any adverse reactions, don't hesitate. See your doctor immediately. There's no need to endure discomfort or suffer in silence. Also, avoid homemade remedies or products without scientific backing. And under no circumstances should you consume illegal substances sold online. A 76-year-old man, Mr. Robert Smith, shared these words. Don't keep your worries to yourself out of fear or shame. Talk to a doctor. I also sought medical guidance, and after that, I was able to enjoy my sex life with more peace and confidence. That's right, there's no reason to feel embarrassed. Having an active and balanced sex life is an important part of physical well-being. Up next, we'll talk about the nutrients that can enhance sexual health, and also about the foods that are best avoided. As we age, nutrition takes on an even more crucial role, especially when it comes to sexual health. However, due to misinformation, many people end up harming their well-being. A 71-year-old man, Mr. Max, shared the following with me. I read online that deer antler and maca were good for you, so I took a large amount all at once, and my blood pressure skyrocketed. I had a really bad time. So, which foods actually support our health, and which ones should we avoid? First, the recommended foods. Oily fish. Examples like mackerel, jack mackerel, or Pacific chub mackerel are excellent sources of omega-3 fatty acids. These nutrients promote good circulation and may enhance sexual performance. Ideally, they should be included in the diet 2 to 3 times per week. Nuts. Almonds, walnuts, and peanuts provide healthy fats and are rich in zinc. A small daily serving, about a handful, is enough. However, if you suffer from high blood pressure, it's best to choose unsalted versions. Vegetables. Vegetables like tomatoes, spinach, and broccoli contain compounds that benefit blood flow. I strongly recommend consuming at least 1 serving daily. Although these foods are healthy, overconsuming them can also be counterproductive. I've heard several people say, since I was told it was good, I ate it in large quantities, and I ended up with complications. Now, let's look at the foods best avoided. Alcohol. Although some believe a glass can be beneficial, the reality is quite the opposite. Alcohol consumption decreases sexual performance and negatively affects decision-making ability. Caffeine. Drinking large amounts of coffee, especially before intimacy, is not advisable. It can cause insomnia and increase blood pressure. High-fat meals. Eating foods like bacon or fried chicken right before an intimate moment can hinder digestion and cause discomfort in the chest area. So, what does proper daily nutrition look like? Breakfast. It should be light, ideally with whole grains, a boiled egg, and a portion of fruit. Lunch. It's important to include a good source of protein, such as fish, lean meat, or tofu, always accompanied by vegetables. Dinner. This should be as light as possible and eaten well in advance, especially if an intimate night is anticipated. Ideally, you should finish eating at least 3 hours before going to bed. A crucial recommendation. Avoid taking supplements or natural products without proper supervision. Just because your neighbor's grandfather had good results doesn't mean you'll experience the same. Every body and every health condition is unique. This is even more important if you are taking medications for high blood pressure or diabetes. In such cases, it's essential to consult your doctor before adding any new substance. Additionally, make sure to stay well hydrated, about 8 glasses of water per day. However, avoid drinking large amounts right before intimacy, as the urge to go to the bathroom could interrupt the moment. Mr. Robert Smith, 68 years old, shared, "Ever since I started taking better care of my diet, everything changed for the better. I feel more energized, and my relationship with my wife has improved significantly." Now we'll move on to discuss the types of exercises that support a healthy sex life, and which ones are best avoided. Many people tell me, "I get that exercise is important, but I don't know which kind is appropriate for my age. I'm afraid of injuring myself if I try something too intense." It's essential to avoid overly intense workouts. If you try to exercise with the same intensity you did when you were younger, you might actually get the opposite result from what you want. For example, a 73-year-old man decided to improve his fitness by lifting very heavy weights at the gym. He ended up with a back injury that left him unable to be intimate for months, and even struggling to walk normally. So, what kind of exercise is recommended? Walking. Dedicate 30 minutes a day to walking. You can split this into 2 15-minute sessions, one in the morning and one in the afternoon. Avoid walking at a fast pace. The ideal rhythm is relaxed and comfortable. Pelvic strengthening exercises. These can be done easily at home. Lie on your back and gently lift your pelvis, then lower it slowly. Do this movement 10 times per set. 3 times a day is enough. Kegel exercises. These focus on the same muscles used to stop the flow of urine. Strengthening this area is key for both men and women, although it's particularly beneficial for women. It also helps prevent urinary incontinence. There are also a few important guidelines to follow when exercising. First, always begin with a warm-up. It's not advisable to jump right into strenuous exercises. Spend a few minutes preparing the body with gentle movements. Second, avoid becoming short of breath. The right intensity allows you to talk to someone while exercising. If you feel out of breath, slow down. Third, consistency is crucial. Aim to exercise 3 to 4 times per week, with sessions lasting about 30 minutes. If you miss a day, don't try to make up for it by doubling your efforts the next day. This can be too much for your body. Next, let's look at the types of exercise that should be avoided. First, avoid lifting heavy weights, as this can lead to injuries in the back and joints. This is especially important for people with high blood pressure. Second, stay away from high-intensity cardiovascular activities like long-distance running or intense hiking. These may pose a risk to your heart health. Third, be cautious with exercises that involve sudden changes in position. Even while doing yoga or stretching, move slowly and gently. It's also recommended not to do very demanding physical routines the day before an intimate encounter, as accumulated fatigue can negatively impact the experience. Every morning, my wife and I go for a 30-minute walk in the park. We also do stretching exercises at home. During these moments, we take the opportunity to chat, which has really strengthened our relationship. Working out together is much more enriching than doing it alone. We support each other and enjoy the chance to connect. Finally, let's talk about how stress affects sexual life, and what can be done about it. Many people say things like, "I haven't felt any sexual desire lately, probably because of everything I've been worrying about. Ever since I retired, I've fallen into a state of sadness and grown distant from my partner." Stress is one of the main enemies of sexual desire, especially in older age, when sources of tension can increase. A 60-year-old man told me, "I worry about my children, my health, retirement. Even when I go to bed, I can't stop thinking about all of it. Even when my wife tries to get close, I just can't feel okay." So, what can we do about it? First, it's essential to clearly identify what's causing the stress. Instead of just saying, "I feel stressed," it's better to write down exactly what your concerns are. Second, don't face these worries alone. Open up to your partner with honesty. Sometimes, just saying, "Lately, I've been worried about can significantly ease your emotional burden. Third, make time every day for activities you genuinely enjoy, whether it's a hobby or a peaceful walk. It's even more beneficial when these activities are shared with your partner. A 72-year-old man shared this part of his routine. After dinner, my wife and I spend half an hour drinking tea and listening to music. During that time, we've agreed not to talk about problems. For us, it's a special moment, a little daily date. Many people experience performance anxiety when it comes to intimacy. Will I do it right? They wonder. But this kind of pressure only makes intimacy harder. So, here are a few suggestions. First, don't rush, and don't expect everything to go perfectly. Sometimes, simple physical affection is enough to bring comfort and connection. Second, don't be afraid if things don't go as expected. If something doesn't work out one time, don't get discouraged. You can try again later, with more calm and confidence. Third, avoid turning to medication, alcohol, or other substances to handle the pressure. Instead, we recommend the following. Meditation. Just 10 minutes of deep breathing in a calm environment can go a long way in reducing stress. Gentle physical activity. As we mentioned earlier, walking or stretching is very beneficial. It helps lower cortisol, the stress hormone. Adequate rest. Getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep each night not only reduces stress, it can also improve your sex life. You should seek professional help if you've been feeling persistently sad for more than 2 weeks. You're experiencing severe insomnia. Your anxiety feels overwhelming or unmanageable. A 77-year-old man shared. At first, I felt embarrassed to see a psychiatrist. But once I started therapy, everything changed. I felt much calmer, and my relationship improved on its own. Up until now, we've talked about common issues in intimate life during older age and how to address them. From choosing the right positions, the responsible use of medication, proper nutrition, physical activity, and managing stress. All of these elements are interconnected. Focusing on just one isn't enough. The key is to maintain overall balance. And above all, what matters most is communication with your partner. Approach each other with empathy, patience, and mutual trust. Thank you for staying with us until the end of this content. We wish you a fulfilling and joyful intimate life. If you found this information helpful, your support truly motivates us to keep going. Thank you so much.
If you are 65 or older, showering daily could pose a risk to your health. Did you know that the habit of constant personal hygiene might actually have negative effects on your well-being? Throughout my 4 decades of experience as a doctor, I have treated numerous elderly patients who have faced serious consequences due to this practice. Though it may seem unbelievable, this is a fact supported by medical science. Every winter, cases repeat of older adults fainting in the shower, suffering fractures, or even passing away. Yet, many seniors continue the habit of bathing with hot water every day. Why this insistence? If your parents have the habit of showering daily, I recommend you watch this video to the end. This information can make a difference, and might even save a life. Before we begin, remember to subscribe and leave a like. Your support is truly valuable to me. Now, I will reveal 5 surprising truths about bathing that every person over 65 should know, backed by my 40 years of experience in medicine. First truth, hot water bathing can be dangerous for the heart. Have you ever wondered what happens to your body when you immerse yourself in hot water? Based on my 4 decades experience as a doctor, I have observed that hot water causes rapid expansion of blood vessels, which can lead to a sudden drop in blood pressure. For those over 65, especially those with hypertension or heart conditions, this can pose a lethal risk. Every winter, I treat at least 10 elderly patients who faint in the bathtub due to this condition. For example, Mr. Smith, a 90-year-old man, had maintained a habit of showering with hot water every day for over 6 decades. He used to say, "Dr. Gustavo, I owe my well-being to my daily baths." However, one winter, while bathing, he suffered a heart attack. Fortunately, his family found him in time, allowing him to survive. though he had to spend a long period in intensive care. From a medical perspective, people over 65 experience a decline in the autonomic function of their nervous system, reducing their ability to adapt to sudden temperature changes. When stepping out of a hot bath, blood pressure can drop abruptly, causing orthostatic hypotension. In fact, staying in water hotter than 41 degrees Celsius, 105.8 degrees Fahrenheit for more than 15 minutes can increase cardiovascular strain by 20 to 30%, equivalent to the effort of light jogging. But don't worry, here's how to bathe safely. Water temperature should not exceed 38 to 40 degrees Celsius, 100 to 104 degrees Fahrenheit. An effective way to check is by using the back of your hand. If it feels pleasantly warm, the temperature is correct. The ideal shower time should not exceed 10 minutes. Based on my research, this is the optimal duration to minimize strain on the cardiovascular system. Drink an adequate amount of water before and after bathing to prevent excessive drops in blood pressure. Place a chair in the shower and sit while bathing. This significantly reduces the risk of falls. Avoid bathing alone, especially if you're over 80. Ensure someone is nearby in case of an emergency. Second truth: daily bathing dries out the skin. Throughout my career, I've had the privilege of treating thousands of elderly patients, and I've observed that natural skin oil production declines with age. By 65, the skin generates half the lipids it did at 20. Now, imagine combining this with daily hot showers. What are the consequences? Last month, I treated Mrs. Maria, a 78-year-old woman who experienced severe itching after every bath, keeping her awake at night. Upon examining her skin, I noticed extreme dryness and small cracks. She asked me, "Dr. Gustavo, I've always bathed carefully with soap. Was I doing something wrong?" Unfortunately, yes. For older adults, daily soap use damages the skin's natural protective barrier. In fact, a dermatological study found that people over 65 who use soap more than 4 times a week have a 60% higher risk of skin dryness. Dry skin isn't just uncomfortable. It can cause intense itching, and scratching can lead to wounds that increase infection risks. I've hospitalized patients due to infections from post-bath scratching. Here's how to maintain healthy skin. Reduce bathing to 3 times a week, allowing the skin to restore its natural oils. Use soap only on essential areas, armpits, groin, avoiding full body application. Choose soaps with a pH of 5.5 to 6.0. Alkaline soaps dehydrate the skin. Apply moisturizer within the first 3 minutes after bathing. This golden window maximizes moisture retention. Opt for products with ceramides and hyaluronic acid, which strengthen the skin barrier and lock in hydration. Check labels for these ingredients. After following these steps, Mrs. Maria reduced her itching by 80% in just 2 weeks, finally allowing her to sleep comfortably again. Third truth: falling in the bathroom can be fatal. Bathroom falls are one of the leading causes of injury among older adults. Throughout my career, I've treated countless patients who suffered falls while showering. Last year, Mr. Johnson, an 88-year-old man, lost his balance stepping out of the tub and fractured his hip. Though the surgery was successful, his mobility became severely limited, drastically impacting his quality of life. Statistics show that adults over 65 who suffer a hip fracture face a 20 to 30% chance of dying within the following year due to related complications. Why are older adults at higher risk of bathroom falls? Slippery surfaces from water on the floor, sudden drops in blood pressure, and dizziness caused by hot water. Age-related balance decline, reducing stability. How to prevent dangerous falls. Install grab bars and non-slip mats in the shower and near the tub. Avoid sudden movements when exiting the bath. Ensure proper bathroom lighting to avoid missteps. Use a shower seat instead of standing for long periods. A shocking statistic: 38% of senior falls happen during or right after bathing. Even more alarming, fractures from these falls significantly increase mortality rates. A study by Severance Hospital found that for adults over 80 who suffer hip fracture, the 1-year mortality rate reaches 25%. meaning 1 in 4 will pass away within a year. The simplest, most effective solution? Non-slip mats are one of the most cost-effective and life-saving measures you can take. These are just 3 of the 5 critical truths about safe bathing for seniors. In the rest of this video, I'll reveal the last 2 points, including how to protect your heart and skin while staying clean. Don't miss it. 1. Install grab bars near the bathtub and toilet. These can be crucial in preventing a fall. 2. Use a shower chair. Sitting while bathing reduces the risk of falls by over 90%. 3. Move slowly before and after bathing. Avoid standing up or making sudden movements. 4. If possible, have someone assist you, especially if you're over 80. 5. My patient's grandfather implemented all these measures after his recovery and has now gone over a year without accidents. He even finds bathing while seated more comfortable. The 4th shocking truth about bathing: body temperature regulation is crucial. As we age, the body's ability to regulate temperature declines. According to my research, people over 80 have a 40% lower capacity to adapt to temperature changes compared to those in their 20s. After a hot bath, body temperature may rise momentarily, but if not regulated properly, it can drop abruptly, and that's the danger. Last January, 92-year-old Mrs. Bang took a hot bath but didn't dry off properly and remained in a cold room. As a result, she suffered hypothermia and was rushed to the hospital with a body temperature of 34.5 degrees Celsius, 94.1 degrees Fahrenheit. Her family asked me, if she took a hot bath, why did her temperature drop? The explanation is simple. After a hot bath, the blood vessels in the skin expand. If the body is exposed to cold air, heat dissipates rapidly, just like placing a cup of hot water in the fridge. To properly regulate body temperature in older adults, I recommend pre-warm the bath water to minimize temperature variation. Dry the body thoroughly with a warm towel immediately after bathing. Moisture on the skin evaporates and can cool the body. Put on warm clothing right after bathing, ensuring the hair is completely dry. Drink a warm beverage after bathing to help maintain internal body heat. In winter, bathe between 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. when temperatures are highest. Since her recovery, Mrs. Bang has followed these recommendations and now bathes safely. Remember, regulating body temperature isn't just about comfort. It's vital for the health of older adults. The 5th truth about bathing: excessive cleanliness can weaken the immune system. Is extreme cleanliness always a good thing? Multiple studies have revealed that excessive hygiene may actually harm your health. Our skin is home to a vast community of beneficial bacteria, known as the skin microbiome, which plays a protective role by preventing harmful germs from multiplying. However, daily soap use also strips away these helpful microbes. In younger individuals, the skin microbiome regenerates quickly, but for people over 65, this process slows down significantly. In fact, a collaborative study I conducted with Seoul National University Hospital's microbiology department found that adults over 75 who showered with soap daily had a 35% weaker skin immune response compared to those who bathed only 3 times a week. A real-life example is 83-year-old Mrs. Dolores, who took pride in scrubbing herself with soap every day. She used to tell me, "The secret to my longevity and well-being is cleanliness." Yet, every winter, she ended up hospitalized due to skin infections. Her overly clean skin had tiny cracks that allowed bacteria to enter. And due to her weakened skin barrier, infections spread easily. Another study also found that older adults who shower daily have a higher risk of respiratory infections, since skin immunity is linked to respiratory defenses. But don't worry. Here's how to maintain hygiene without compromising your skin's natural defenses. Reduce soap use to 2 to 3 times a week, giving beneficial bacteria time to recover. Avoid antibacterial soaps and shower gels, as they kill both good and bad microbes. Instead, opt for mild, moisturizing soaps or pH-balanced cleansers. Use soap only on odor-prone areas, armpits, groin, and rinse the rest of your body with water. Keep indoor humidity between 40 to 60%, as dry air disrupts the skin microbiome. After following these recommendations for a year, Mrs. Dolores has had no further skin infections and maintains healthy skin despite her advanced age. Conclusion: today, we've discussed 5 key aspects of bathing. Bathroom falls are a significant risk for older adults, but they can be prevented. Regulating body temperature after bathing is essential. Excessive hygiene can weaken the skin's immune defenses. Despite these recommendations, some might still think, if I don't bathe daily, I'll feel uncomfortable and dirty. I need hot water to relax before bed. However, research and my experience as a physician show that for adults over 65, daily showers often do more harm than good. Why do so many elderly people insist on bathing daily? A generational mindset. Our parents and grandparents lived through post-war times when hygiene conditions were poor and diseases spread easily. That experience shaped their deep-seated belief in daily washing as a necessity. Social pressure and dignity. In our society, cleanliness isn't just about health. It's tied to respect and consideration for others. Many seniors fear being perceived as unclean. My 93-year-old patient used to shower twice daily, terrified her grandchildren would say she smelled old, until she collapsed from exhaustion. Emotional anxiety. Some older adults feel physically and mentally unsettled if they skip a bath, even if they're hygienically clean. Many of my patients report struggling with sticky skin and insomnia unless they bathe at least once a day. Finding the balance. Understanding these reasons is key to balancing health, safety, and dignity. The goal isn't to abandon hygiene, but to adapt it, protecting the skin's defenses while respecting emotional and social needs. Understanding psychological factors. How to support older adults in adopting healthier hygiene habits. Given these psychological aspects, here are some practical recommendations to help reduce anxiety in older adults and guide them toward healthier bathing routines. 1. Explain that bathing 3 times a week is enough. According to a Harvard Medical School study, there is no significant difference in skin bacteria levels or infection rates between older adults who bathe 2 to 3 times a week and those who bathe daily. Reassure them that less frequent bathing does not compromise cleanliness. 2. Odor control doesn't require a full shower. Daily spot cleaning of odor-prone areas, armpits, groin, and feet is sufficient. I advise my patients to wash key areas daily with a damp cloth. Take full baths only 2 to 3 times a week. Over 90% of those who followed this method reported feeling fresh and clean. 3. How to suggest changes without causing conflict. A direct approach like, you need to bathe less, may feel critical. Instead, try, Mom, I heard a geriatric expert on TV say that older skin is different. Overbathing can dry it out and weaken immunity. What if we tried what this 40-year experienced doctor suggests? This frames the change as medical advice, not personal criticism. 4. Offer alternative relaxation rituals. The soothing benefits of bathing can be achieved through warm towel massages, like Mrs. Bang, 85, who uses a lavender-infused towel, sponge baths with essential oils, gentle skincare routines. These alternatives keep the skin hydrated while providing comfort. 5. Gradually reduce bathing frequency. Lifelong habits take time to change. A step-down approach works best. Start by skipping 1 bath per week. Slowly decrease to 3 baths weekly over 2 to 3 months. Mr. Kim, 78, successfully transitioned this way. His skin improved, and he felt better overall. If you know anyone over 65 who bathes daily, share these tips, especially in winter when bathroom accidents peak. Small changes can prevent falls, infections, and hospitalizations while maintaining dignity and comfort. Bathing and sleep quality in the elderly. Many believe that taking a warm bath before bed promotes rest, which is true for younger individuals. In people around 30 years old, body temperature drops after bathing, stimulating production of melatonin, the hormone responsible for sleep. However, for those over 65, the situation changes. In a study conducted by my team with 200 individuals over 75, we found that those who bathed in water hotter than 41 degrees Celsius 2 hours before bedtime experienced poorer sleep quality. The number of nighttime awakenings increased by 42%, and the amount of deep sleep decreased by 38%. This is because older adults have a diminished ability to regulate their body temperature, leading to uncontrolled internal fluctuations after a hot bath, which disrupts their rest. An example is Mrs. Lee, an 82-year-old who used to take hot baths before bed and suffered from chronic insomnia. Following my recommendation, she lowered the water temperature to 38 degrees Celsius, shortened her bath to 5 to 10 minutes, and bathed 3 hours before going to bed. As a result, she experienced a significant improvement in her sleep. Tips for the perfect pre-bedtime bath for older adults. Water temperature, around 38 degrees Celsius. Avoid excessively hot water. Bathing time, no longer than 5 to 10 minutes. Timing. Bathe at least 3 hours before bedtime, not right before sleeping. Additional suggestion. Drinking an herbal tea after bathing promotes relaxation. Alternative to a full bath. Instead of full bath, soaking just the feet in warm water can be effective. Mr. Park, a 78-year-old man, had suffered from insomnia for over 20 years. After replacing his hot bath with a warm foot soak 3 hours before bedtime, he slept deeply without medication for the first time in 2 decades. Rest is crucial for health in old age. Following the right bathing recommendations can ensure safe and restorative sleep. Summary of bathing recommendations for older adults. Frequency, 2 to 3 times per week. Temperature, between 38 to 40 degrees Celsius. Duration, no more than 10 minutes. Soap use, apply only to specific areas, armpits, groin, etc. Choose cleansers with a pH of 5.5 to 6.0. Apply moisturizer within the first 3 minutes after bathing. Bathroom safety. Use non-slip mats, install grab bars in the shower and near the toilet, and consider a shower chair. Post-bath care. Dry off immediately to prevent body heat loss. Skin care. Avoid antibacterial soaps. Opt for hydrating products. Maintain indoor humidity between 40% to 60%. Some may think, it's too late to change my habits. Yet, as a saying in traditional Chinese medicine goes, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. By following these science-backed guidelines, older adults can significantly improve their health and well-being. If you found this information helpful, don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. Turn on notifications to be the first to access more content on healthy aging. Thank you. Have you ever heard of the so-called third age scent? It may sound harsh, but it's a real thing and affects most people over 60. What's surprising is that it's not just related to hygiene, but to a transformation in the body that isn't visible to the naked eye. If you've noticed an unusual or damp smell on your skin, clothes, or even on your pillowcase, don't ignore it. It's a sign that something else is happening. The good news is that you can stop it and even reverse it if you act quickly. Stay with me, because soon I'll share 5 essential steps you should follow immediately to eliminate that odor and keep your body fresh, clean, and healthy. Why does this strange odor occur? Experts call it nonenal, and it arises when the skin produces a higher amount of fatty acids, while its antioxidant reserves decrease. This phenomenon intensifies as the years go by, particularly after the age of 60. As a result, an odor appears that is usually associated with dampness, grease, or a slight acidic note. The most annoying thing is that this odor clings to clothes, sheets, and furniture. Even after showering, it may persist. But the real issue isn't just a change in smell. It also indicates that your body is having difficulty processing certain toxins and fats, which, if not managed properly, could lead to other health problems. What can you do about it? Let's explore 5 actions you should take immediately. 1. Choose a pH-balanced soap. Many people think soap is just that: apply it, rinse, and problem solved. However, after the age of 60, the body undergoes subtle transformations that might go unnoticed, and the soap you've used for years may no longer be effective. The skin produces natural oils to retain moisture, but over time, these oils break down differently. Instead of contributing to a fresh feeling, they combine with oxygen and bacteria, creating that characteristic age-related odor, which lingers even after bathing. The problem is that regular soap doesn't have the strength to stop it. The solution is a shower gel with a balanced pH. Unlike harsh soaps that dehydrate the skin, it works in harmony with it, neutralizing the compounds that cause the bad odor instead of just masking them. Essential ingredients to look for: heavy checkmark green tea helps eliminate toxins from the skin. Heavy checkmark activated charcoal captures the oils that cause bad odors. Heavy checkmark citrus extracts combat damp smells and replace them with fresh, natural fragrance. Expert suggestion: don't rush to rinse. Let the soap sit on your skin for at least a minute before rinsing to ensure it works. Also, it's recommended to avoid hot water, as it removes beneficial natural oils and can intensify the odor over time. Opt for lukewarm water. With this simple adjustment, you'll notice your skin feels cleaner, smells fresher, and you won't have to worry about whether others notice your odor before you speak. 2. Gotta improve your diet. Let me ask you, have you noticed that some people seem to have a fresher scent than others, even without using fragrances? It's not a coincidence. What you consume influences how you smell. If you're over 60, your diet might be worsening the situation. Some foods increase the production of fatty acids in your body, and when combined with sweat and bacteria, they create a damp or slightly acidic odor. The main culprits: prohibited processed foods, prohibited fried foods, prohibited excessive red meat consumption. These foods increase oxidative stress in your body, indicating that your body is having trouble processing toxins. And how do those toxins escape? Through the skin. Before we continue, remember to like the video if you're enjoying it, and subscribe to the channel for the best tips on how to attract abundance and prosperity into your life. Let's move on. How to fix it. It's important to include foods in your diet that fight bad odors from the inside. Heavy checkmark green leafy vegetables, such as spinach, kale, and parsley that contain chlorophyll, a natural deodorant that helps eliminate toxins before they reach your skin. Heavy checkmark citrus fruits, such as oranges, lemons, and grapefruits, they purify the body and leave a fresh feeling on the skin. Heavy checkmark foods high in antioxidants, such as berries, nuts, and green tea, they combat oxidative stress and reduce the generation of oils that can cause bad odors. Practical tip: every morning, drink warm water with lemon. This helps eliminate toxins, improves digestion, and prevents body odor from the start of the day. 3. Change your sheets and clothes more frequently. You might be surprised, but odor isn't just limited to your skin. It's also present in your clothes, sheets, and pillows. Nonenal, the compound responsible for this smell, doesn't just stay on the skin, also clings to the fibers of fabrics. The most frustrating part is that regular washing doesn't always completely remove it. This means that even if you shower, you might still be wearing clothes or lie on sheets that hold on to that odor. Solution: bed wash your sheets at least once a week. You spend several hours in bed each night, and during that time, your body releases sweat, oils, and dead cells. If you only wash them every 2 weeks or less, you're essentially sleeping on a buildup of bacteria that causes unpleasant odors. T-shirt change clothes more often, especially those in direct contact with your skin. Underwear, t-shirts, and pajamas should be washed after each use. Extra: use white vinegar or baking soda during the wash to remove nonenal residues in clothing. Persistent bad odors in your bedding can be an inconvenience, so it's recommended to wash your sheets at least twice a week, and don't forget the pillowcases. Your head, neck, and face are in direct contact with them, and if they aren't kept fresh, you'll only be intensifying the odor on your skin. Now, let's talk about clothing. Nonino tend to adhere to fabrics, though some hold onto it more than others. If you wear many garments made from synthetic materials like polyester or nylon, you're making the problem worse. These fabrics don't allow for good breathability, causing the odor to get trapped and persist even after washing. Opt for more breathable fabrics like cotton and linen, which allow air circulation and don't retain odors as much. Here's a little-known laundry tip. Detergent alone isn't enough. Conventional laundry soap doesn't effectively remove nonino. So sometimes, even after washing your clothes and sheets, they won't smell completely fresh. One option is to add white vinegar to the wash. Vinegar acts as a natural deodorizer that breaks down the odor-causing molecules instead of just masking them. You just need to pour about half a cup into the softener compartment or add it directly during the rinse cycle, and you'll see a big improvement. This small adjustment, washing your bedding and clothing more frequently, opting for the right fabrics, and adding vinegar to the wash, can completely eliminate that annoying odor. You'll wake up feeling refreshed, your clothes will smell fresher, and most importantly, you won't carry that bad smell throughout the day. Step 4. Stay hydrated and detoxify your skin. Let me ask you a question. How much water have you consumed today? If you're like many people, you probably haven't drunk enough, and that can be a serious problem. If your body can't efficiently eliminate toxins, what do you think happens? They start coming out through your skin. That peculiar odor you notice after 60 isn't just sweat. It's the toxins that have accumulated and haven't been expelled by your body. When you're dehydrated, your body operates more slowly, and waste isn't eliminated properly, staying trapped in your system. Instead of disappearing, these compounds are released through your pores. That's why, no matter how many showers you take, the bad odor keeps appearing. What should you do? First, make sure you're consuming at least 8 glasses of water every day. And not just any kind of beverage. Clear, pure water. Coffee, soda, and sugary drinks actually worsen dehydration. Your body needs clean water to flush out the toxins before they're released through your skin. If you want to speed up the detoxification process even more, don't settle for just plain water. Add lemon. Lemon water helps your liver eliminate waste more quickly, preventing odor-causing compounds from staying in your system. A great supplement is green tea, rich in antioxidants, which helps your body break down fats and oils more efficiently, reducing the amount of odor released through sweat. Now, let's talk about something that often goes unnoticed: your skin. If you don't exfoliate your body, you allow layers of dead cells, sweat, and natural oils to accumulate, which traps bad odors like a sponge. That's why it's important to exfoliate at least once a week. Use a loofah, a dry brush, or a gentle scrub before your shower. This will remove the dead cells where the odor-causing compounds accumulate, allowing your skin to breathe and stay fresh longer. In summary, to eliminate bad odor permanently, it's important to tackle it from the inside. Increase your water intake. Choose lemon water or green tea, and exfoliate your skin frequently. By doing this, you'll not only enjoy a fresher scent, but also experience a sense of lightness, increased vitality, and even a more youthful appearance. Step 5. Use a natural deodorant with antioxidants. Let's be honest. If your deodorant were truly effective, you wouldn't be dealing with that bad odor over and over again, right? You apply in the morning, and by noon, bam, the odor is back. This happens because conventional deodorants don't eliminate the bad odor. They just try to mask it, and that's no longer enough after 60. The issue isn't just sweat, though. There's a more complex factor: nonino, a substance that builds up on the skin over time. Regular deodorants can't break it down. So even when applied, that rancid, somewhat oily smell persists. The answer lies in a deodorant that contains natural antioxidants. It's not just about masking the bad odor, but eliminating it from its source to prevent it from coming back. Choose deodorants that include vitamin C, eucalyptus, or witch hazel. These ingredients help break down the substances that cause bad odor and keep your skin fresh for longer. These aren't just fancy ingredients. They truly work. Vitamin C helps break down the fatty acids responsible for nonino, preventing them from sticking to the skin and causing odor. Eucalyptus eliminates the bacteria that intensify the odor, keeping you fresh for longer. Witch hazel works as a natural skin toner, reducing pore size and regulating oil production, which results in an overall reduction in odor. If you continue using traditional deodorants with synthetic fragrances, aluminum, and parabens, you might actually be making the problem worse. These chemicals can block your pores and trap nonino, making it harder to get rid of the bad odor. That's why switching to a natural deodorant can be a real game changer. Also, how you apply it is crucial. Here's what you should do. Apply the product immediately after showering, while your skin is still slightly damp. This helps it absorb better and prolongs its effectiveness. Use only a small amount. Natural deodorants interact with your body, so you don't need to apply much. A small amount is enough. If necessary, reapply, especially after exercise or on hot days. By making this adjustment, you'll experience something surprising. You won't need to constantly reapply deodorant. The reason? Your body will stop generating that bad odor in the first place. So, instead of just covering up the problem, address the cause. If, in addition to this, you stay hydrated, follow a balanced diet, wash your sheets regularly, and exfoliate your skin, you'll wake up feeling renewed, confident, and free of unpleasant odors. If you've noticed a change in your body odor after 60, don't panic. It's completely normal. However, it's also a sign that your body might need a bit more attention. By changing your soap, improving your diet, washing your clothes regularly, staying well hydrated, and using a natural deodorant, you can get rid of that odor and feel fresh, confident, and healthy every day. Let me know in the comments if you've ever noticed this scent and what's worked for you. I'd love to hear about your experience. Thanks for watching the video. See you in the next one.